Hey guys, it's Tim, and welcome to a new episode of The Spotlight, the show where I pose an interesting question or just a general interesting idea and have you take it from there in the comments. With that said, let's talk about mutants in the MCU. Now, before anyone says anything, this is all just a what if. I know that there's really a very low chance, if impossible chance, that this will ever happen. But this is just a hypothetical in the off chance that it does happen. So let's try to avoid the whole, oh, this will never happen thing or your delusional comments, okay? So as it stands right now in the MCU, for obvious reasons, there hasn't been hide nor hair of mutants ever existing, and they seem to be going out of their way to try to make it so that they never existed, saying that telepathy doesn't exist in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and having the twins be miracles instead of mutants. And again, on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right now, they're basically having the Inhumans fill the role that mutants typically fill in the Marvel Universe, being spoken against on the news, people being afraid of them trying to find their place in this world, etc., etc. But with that said, is it possible to add them in at all? Would it require some sort of large-scale explanation like going the Ultimate Universe route where mutants were created in a laboratory? Or could they just be hiding underground and just resurfaced at the time that they would be entering the MCU? Because for evidence against them existing, the only thing that we really have is the fact that they've never been mentioned by name before. And that's honestly a somewhat weak defense against them not existing, because there's never been anything actually relevant to mutation existing in the world, or nothing that would point people explicitly towards a mutation. Honestly, I think that they could very easily go the X-Men Evolution route, where the mutants have been underground basically this whole time, and they haven't been widely revealed to anyone until some sort of major event happens between them that forces them out into the open, and then the discussion about mutants could take place in the MCU fairly easily, but for other people, I know that that wouldn't work. They'd feel that it'd be too loose a justification, or if they had existed before, why has there never been any sign of them? So this really isn't the easiest thing to introduce. Though speaking from a purely audience perspective, most people probably wouldn't even know or care outside of the comic book community why they existed or where they've been. They really would just want the characters to show up. So I feel that it can actually be a bit easier from that perspective than from a storytelling perspective, and it's just really which one you prefer, them just being there or knowing why they're there. But what do you guys think? Do you think that there's an ideal way to introduce them into the MCU? Should they go the route of full out explaining why they're there? Should they just allow them to have existed? What do you think is the best way to approach this if it ever were to happen? Well, let me know in the comments, and until next time, remember to like and subscribe. This is Tim from the Spotlight, signing out.